And let me double check all of this was recording real quick. Sorry, 1 second. Oh no, it looks like we didn't have audio for like my whole spiel. Let's see. Let me double check recording real quick. Oh wait. Sorry. 1 second. Did we? Nope. Sorry everyone. We're going to retake that. We're going to retake that whole thing. And live people, you already heard me on Instagram. You're going to just have to hear me again. So, I apologize. My microphone was not turned on all the way. It's been one of those days, guys. It really has been. All right. So, we are talking about the Kuleshov Effect. Live on Instagram. You've heard it. You don't need to hear it again. Go vote and check out my bio for my link tree to get how to call me and how to download our checklist. Thank you everyone on Instagram. I'm going to go back to my Facebook and YouTube and we're going to redo this live. All right. Okay. So we're back with audio. I really apologize for all of that. We started this with It's Video Tech Tuesday and Angela should get her stuff together, right? Please go vote. If you haven't already voted, make sure you are either in line to vote or you're on your way home from voting, and that's why you're watching us right now. We're going to restart with the idea that it's Video Tech Tuesdays. We go live every Tuesday, and today we're talking about the editing 101 idea of the Kuleshov Effect. So this really sums up the idea of what editing is for video, and how it applies to pretty much everything in life, honestly, but definitely anytime we're talking about film, television, or branded videos, no matter what it is. The Kuleshov Effect is all about context. So in the 1920s, we see Kuleshov created a short experimental film where he took a shot of a bowl of soup and then cut after it was a man's face. And then the next shot is a girl in a coffin, and then we cut to a man's face. And then the last shot is a woman kind of sitting seductively on a bed, and the next shot is of a man's face. So the audience raved about how like revolutionary this was, how great how great the acting was. And that's what they thought was revolutionary about, just like how amazing this actor is with his just facial expressions. And then afterwards, they came out and said, surprise, it is the exact same shot each time of them. We only have one shot of the man's face. It's the same expression, same shot. But the audience attributed different a different feeling and a different emotion to each shot based off of the shot before it. And that is what the Kuleshov Effect is. It's a mental phenomenon that people create meaning from a sequence of shots that they wouldn't necessarily attribute if it was just one shot by itself. So, what does this mean? It is the very essence of editing. Editing a video is not about cutting out the bad bits, while that is a very large part of video editing. It's really creating a story to invoke feeling, to make a point, to bring the audience to a collective idea by cutting different shots together, by making a sequence, by doing a montage, by putting all of your shots in a specific order, cut at a specific time, and that's going to give you a feeling or an emotion, and this is going to tell a story for your audience. And like I said, super, super important in film and television. And a great, beautiful example of this, and a little spooky, is The Silence of the Lambs. It's from 1991, directed by Jonathan Demme. And if you haven't seen it, You should go see it because it's wonderful. But spoilers alert, because it's been 30 years almost. So, God, that's so long ago now. So here is my spoil-filled example of the Kuleshov Effect. So in Silence of the Lambs, the FBI is going to try and find Buffalo Bill. They've decided, they figured it out, they know where he is. But Clarice is like, no, I don't believe you, right? And they're like, nah. So they kind of break off from Clarice, who's Jodie Foster and amazing. And the FBI is like, we got him. We're going to get Bill. So Buffalo Bill is having this very emotionally charged, very tension building scene with the woman he's kidnapped because she's gotten his dog. And so they're fighting over, she needs to give him the dog back. And she's like, no, you have to let me go before I hurt your dog. So there's this very anxiety ridden scene of Buffalo Bill kind of reaching his breaking point. And while we're watching that, it's intercut with scenes of the FBI, getting to the house, getting out of the van, getting their guns, getting in position for this ambush. And so it's cuts back and forth, and it's just building all this tension, and we're ready to go, right? And then the FBI hits the doorbell, and the doorbell rings in Buffalo Bill's house, and he's like, oh no, someone's here, and I've got this yelling, screaming woman I kidnapped. And so he's running up the steps, and he's opens the door, and it's Clarice. And we come back and we see the FBI is at the wrong house. They're just completely somewhere else. And Clarice is the one who's actually found out where Buffalo Bill is. So this is just a beautiful example of how editing can be misleading, but in this particular way, in a really great way. Because the Kuleshov Effect shows that we see the outside of a house in one shot, and the very next shot's the inside of a house, and our brain automatically makes the connection that it must be the same house. So we can a good editor uses that knowledge, knowing how people understand and interpret a sequence of footage to trick us, to give us this beautiful reveal of no, Clarice found him, and then oh, wait, she's alone. She's the only one who found him, right? And then that leads to the climax of the film. So that's just one beautiful way that the Kuleshov Effect works in editing. And as I said, not only is this really important for film and television, it's super important for advertising and marketing as well. You want to make sure that your product and your ads are seen in places where it makes sense for your product. You don't want your product associated with something that's negative. You don't want to associate it with something that's sad. You want to have it surrounded by the kind of what's going to lift up and highlight your product, and not what's going to bury it, not something that's going to kind of mislead your audience into thinking it's something else. We all know those ads that you get for apps on your phone, and they're very misleading because they tell you it's one thing and you click on the ad and suddenly you're somewhere completely else, right? So the whole idea of context and what editing can do with your context is really the key here. And it's really editing 101, like I titled our video today. So that is the very first thing when you're editing a video, regardless of the purpose of the video, is something you have to always keep in mind. And a good editor will know exactly how people interpret their footage depending on the way the sequence is set up. So that is my spiel. Part 2. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Welcome to 2020, everyone. All right. So as per usual, if you are thinking about doing a video, please go to bit.ly/AWV checklist. It is right there on the screen. That is a free download for a video checklist on how to do your own videos for branded videos. It tells you pre-production, helps you think through the content that you want, and then thinks through production on how many cameras you need. Do you need actors? Do you need sets? Do you need locations? All of that good, important stuff. And if you go through that checklist, again, completely free download, just go to bit.ly/AWV checklist. Once you do that, you download the checklist, you're like, whoa, this is way more than I thought it was going to be. Then you can go to bit.ly/callawv. And that's my calendar. Set up a free consultation call. Absolutely free, as in the name. So give me a call. Let's talk about your project. I can tell you what I think you're going to need for it. I will help you, walk through the process of kind of planning it out, putting it together, and I'll let you know exactly what the project cost is going to look like. So all of that being said, please, please, please go vote if you have not voted yet. That is the most important part of my whole video today. Go vote. And then come back next Tuesday at 1 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram to watch us live talk about all things video, tech specs, and gear. Leave us a comment so we know what to talk about next week. Let us know what your questions are. All right. Thanks for bearing with me through all of my terrible tech issues today, and have a great rest of your week. Thanks, everyone.